Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of K.S.E. Maths Physics Made Easy. So today we're gonna do number patterns. So if you don't know what is number pattern are sequences of numbers that follow a certain rule. So for instance, we have the first one, which is number pattern. For instance, we're gonna have 2, 3, 4, 5. So to get to the next one, we have to add what? We're gonna add 1 to get to the next one. We have to add 1 to get to the next one. We're gonna have to add 1. So the next number in this instance, we're gonna add 1. So we're gonna have a common difference, which is this one. We call it the common difference. We're gonna add 1. 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. So this becomes a pattern, okay, a sequence. Becomes a pattern or a sequence because it follows a certain rule. The rule says we add 1 in the first number. We're going to add 1 to find the next number. So this is called, this number which we add, we call it a difference. Okay, so now this pattern, we're going to start with the first one. The first number pattern we're going to do is called arithmetic or linear number pattern. Okay, linear pattern. So linear pattern. Okay, so on the arithmetic linear pattern, we're gonna follow a formula which says Tn is equal to a plus open bracket n minus 1 and the difference, which by a stands for the it is the first term. It is the first term. Then d as the difference. I would like to focus on D, the difference, or we can call it the common difference, or we can call it the constant difference. This is D. Then we're gonna follow the next number. The next thing is this one. This one I like to call it the actual term. The actual term. That one we call it the actual term, whereby we're gonna say n. N we can say is the position of a term. The position of a term. So for example, if you can look at this, we have 2. So the position of 2 here in the stand. The position of 2 here is 1. The position of 3 here is what? It's 2. But 2 becomes what? The actual term. 3 becomes the actual term. I hope you understand this. We're gonna have an example. Can we do an example, a quick example? We're gonna have something like, let's take this pattern in case. 3, 7, this one. Okay. Then they say we should determine the general solution or the nth term. So determine the nth term. So you're going to write determine the nth term. So how are we going to determine the nth term? We're going to say Tn is equal to a plus open bracket n minus 1 difference. Okay. Then the first term in this instant, it's going to be -1 plus n. The difference is going to be what? We have to find the difference. The difference, how will we find the difference? We're going to say term number 2 minus term number 1. We're going to find d, which becomes what? The difference. Term number 2 minus term number 1 is the difference. We can also say term number 3 minus term number 2 becomes what? The difference. I hope you're with me. So the next part is this part. Okay, so 3 minus, so we're gonna write it, we're gonna say term number 2 minus term number 1 is equal to d. So our term number 2, it's 3 minus open bracket minus 1. So this and this is gonna give us positive, so we're gonna get the difference is gonna be what? D is equal to 4. D is equal to 4. Then we're gonna move on to the next part or next bit. We're going to substitute 4 here. So we're going to say -1 plus this multiplied by this is going to give us 4, and this multiplied by this is going to give us -4. Then we come back. This and this is going to give us -5. 5n minus 5. So the general solution or the end term is this one. Okay, let's go to a new clean page. Example 2, we're going to do example 2 now. So example 2 is going to be example 2. So example, we have 4, -2, -8. So we're going to determine the nth term. Okay, we're going to determine the nth term. So how are we going to do that? We're going to say Tn is equal to a plus open bracket n minus 1 and the difference equal to a. So our first term is what? It's 4. Then plus open bracket n minus 1. We have to find what? The difference. How do you find the difference? T2 minus T1 is equal to the difference. So T2 is equal to -2, sorry, minus open bracket 4D. So this and this is going to give us -4, and then we're going to get -6. So the difference is equal to -6. So we're going to take it to the side. 4 plus sorry, I was supposed to substitute it there. Okay, no problem. I'm going to substitute it here. -6, like that. So this one I'm going to cancel it out. So I'm going to say 4 plus this multiplied by this is going to give us what? -6. So we're going to have -6, -6. This and this is going to give us what? +6. -6n here. Come back like this. Then we're going to have 4 plus, we have to remove the bracket. So this one is out. We're going to have -6n plus 6, like this. So this plus this is going to give us -6n. This plus this is going to give us +10. Which is this becomes now our nth term. Okay, we determined the nth term. Just do another example. So we can do another example. The example we can do is example 3. Example 3 we can do 1, -1, -3. So it's our sequence or pattern. So we have to find the difference. Let's find the difference first. So we're going to say term number 2 minus term number 1. So term number 1, it's number 2 is -1 minus term number 1. This becomes -2. Term number 3 minus term number 2, we're going to find the difference. Term number 3 minus term number 2, we're going to find the difference. Term number 2 minus term number, we're going to find the difference. So -3 minus open bracket minus 1, which this is going to give us positive. We're going to get +1. This becomes -2. So our difference is what? It's -2. So we go back and say Tn is equal to A plus open bracket n minus 1 and the difference. So A is the first term, which is 1, plus n, we don't have n, minus 1. Our difference is what? -2. So we're going to say Tn here. Tn equal to. So this multiplied by this. This multiplied by this, we're going to get -2n. This multiplied by this, we're going to get +2. So we're going to have this plus this is equal to 3. So -2n plus 3. We can prove it. You can put it on your calculator and just to prove it, to see if it's actually okay, if you're going to get this pattern. So how do you do that? You're going to say Tn, where there's an n, you're going to put the position. 1 is at position 1, which is equal to -n. Let me do this. 1 plus this. We're supposed to get what? 1. We're supposed to get 1. So this multiplied by this is what? -2. So 3 minus 2 is equal to what? 1. So term number 1 is equal to 1. Let's check term number 2 if we're going to get what? We're supposed to get -1. So we're going to say term number 2 equal to -2 plus 3. So what is it that we're going to get? So term number 2 is equal to what? This multiplied by this is going to give us -4. So 3 minus -4 is -1. So that means our sequence it's our general solution or our nth term, it's correct, and our sequence in this manner. We can find it by using this general solution or the nth term. Thank you. Join me to the next episode whereby we're gonna expand and do more.